It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray, who may or may not like pina coladas, but I'm sure he does not like getting caught in the rain. Hey there, Merman.
Yo.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, and share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And you know what? We'll probably watch it. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our fabulous sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
And yes, there was a Liam Neeson movie playing.
In case anybody was wondering.
Anybody was wondering.
That's right. OMN, baby.
Oldman Neeson.
Bryce
You're
is
up,
getting
Bruce.
into it.
All right, so we saw one movie at the cinema, and yes, it was a Liam Neeson movie. The name of the movie was Memory.
It's hard to forget.
It is.
Memory is the best action movie Liam Neeson has made in years. Keep in mind, that is a very, very low bar. The concept of this film is actually pretty good. It's got a pretty good launching point. We have an aging hitman who is considering retirement as he is suffering from the early onset of Alzheimer's. That could be interesting.
Yes.
He reaches his moral limits when he is to execute a child. There are depraved rich folks and cover-ups and more than a few things to like about this. But instead of focusing on the man who is coping with illness, we instead get elaborate action sequences that completely eclipse the more interesting character study that this film could have been. The silly action is just that, and I will not rehash the dumbness, but it's no different than anything Neeson has been doing as of late. Guy Pearce shows up as an FBI agent.
And he's an HB.
And UFO
HD.
expert.
And an UFO expert.
And he is fine, but ultimately I'm just sort of depressed that this is the type of stuff he is doing these days. He and Neeson should be doing better films than this. As I mentioned, this is better than most of Neeson's films of late, with its slightly higher concept and an actual interesting main character, but it is still too dumb to recommend to anyone. It is still a rage.
Aw, poor Liam Neeson. I feel kind of bad for the guy, because he lost his memory. Right?
Sure.
At least that's what we're supposed to think.
Yes.
I thought it was great to see Liam getting some better actors to be in his schlocky geriatric action films.
Did you not feel sorry for the actors?
I did kind of feel sorry for them. Guy Pearce, in my opinion, was great with what he could do in this story. So that's also a good thing. And having him play a fallible character was also good to see. Also, because normally they make him out to be some kind of superhero, which most of the times it is far from it. So, I'm thankful for those things. But this again is a typical Liam Neeson film where he is either a killer with a heart, or a killer who is redeemed, or a killer who's a good guy, or a killer who's in the CIA, FBI, Special Ops, MI6, Green Beret, or Rob Roy, or Obi-Wan's father, or his lover, and whatever.
That would be his master, not his father.
Or his lover, whatever. His father figure, whatever. Yeah. It's the same thing. He's a killer. So, yeah. And so this was not any different. This was probably, as Bryce had already alluded to, the least annoying Oldman Neeson movie that he's made in a long, long time.
It really was.
Yeah. And also, to Bryce's point, actually, I was really thinking this could have been really good. There were some parts in this that it was actually...
It could have been.
The story really started to develop.
He's an interesting guy.
It is, but like everything that Neeson... Like, it's like they wanted to show that he had Alzheimer's, but they never really showed much of it. Exactly. It's like they put a little tiny piece in it, and then it's like, oh, I'm writing stuff on my arm, so I must have Alzheimer's.
Could have been such a good character.
But yeah, it was... You know, as I am all about character, this was far from any character development in any character.
I know.
It was traditional Liam Neeson with a little bit of tweak, but it's still a rage because it's a Liam Neeson movie. Murray, what'd you think of your boy, Oldman Neeson?
Well, for me, Liam Neeson movies start at an 8,
and work their way up.
Yeah, most of the time. A hitman with Alzheimer's? Genius.
I know, right?
Genius. It's like...
We all agree with that.
It's like you kill somebody, but then you don't know who you are or what the hell you're doing all of a sudden. You just wake up in a pool of blood.
Or with a hooker that you didn't have to pay for.
That you didn't know. Yeah, he had some definite moments of vulnerability in the movie that made you feel for the guy, despite the fact that he killed people for a living. And yeah, like you said, he had, there was a line he wouldn't cross. He doesn't ever kill children, which I guess it's a good thing if you're a hitman. Yeah, lots of good action scenes. There were a few hard to believe moments.
Well, it is an Oldman Neeson movie.
Like the fact that he did get shot and then he just keeps going.
Yeah.
Like he should have just crumpled and died right there, but he's
Liam Neeson.
He still storms the fortress full of like Texas Rangers and cops.
Yep.
But no, I found it really enjoyable. I actually liked it. I'm not going to give it a Mondo.
Yeah, well,
I almost did just because of you two. But no, it's almost high meh for me.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, I love the part I may be mixing this up with, because I saw the same night I watched the one we're going to talk about later in our Ranger Dare segment.
Oh,
but
no.
just him shooting at stuff and no one hits him. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, it's just, I'm so tired of those kind of action films.
Every action movie.
I didn't understand that bathroom scene where he throws the guy into the toilet, and the toilet must have been made out of like plastic because it just flips over. Like, what was going on? You get thrown into a
Is this
toilet.
a prop?
You just break some bones. The toilet doesn't go flipping on
It
us.
exploded.
It was made out of really, really, really hard fiberglass.
It was stupid.
It was so expensive. It was a fiberglass toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got written down here picture. What does that mean?
Picture.
I wrote down pictures. There's something about a picture in it that I would want to talk about it.
Oh,
I don't
Maybe.
know. I just wrote it down because it entered my head, but now it's gone.
And now it's
I think I
gone.
might have early set on.
You might have
Alzheimer's
her.
here.
I don't know how your mind thinks. You
I'm pretty sure it's you that has Alzheimer's.
can also think of this movie as a
I know
geriatric memento.
I know what picture means.
Okay, so I have it.
Sheryl Crow song?
Okay, so he says that he doesn't kill children, but he saw a picture of her long before.
Yes,
So why
exactly.
didn't that come up then?
Yeah.
Because he didn't realize how young she was.
Well, her picture kind of shows.
No, but she looked older. No, she
Did she?
might be
She looked
17 or
14
18.
instead.
No, she might be she looked maybe
Still,
17
but
or 18.
I mean, where does he draw the line at children? It's like, okay, well, I want to look at their ID first.
Yeah.
Are they
So can you
21?
show me your ID?
Yeah.
I'm 17. You're not young
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Well, and also the fact that she was an abused sex worker at the age of 13. I mean,
Yeah.
That may have changed his mind too, but
Maybe.
I don't think he really knew though.
I think he forgot who he was.
Anyway,
yeah, it's possible.
I also love the fact he was in the hospital where he should have been dead, and yet he was able to get back
He also
up.
should have
As
been.
I say,
I thought
he
I was
also should
watching
have been
Halloween,
the
actually.
launching
He should have
point
been
was
handcuffed
this.
to the bed too.
The launching point of this pointed towards this beat. Like when it started, I'm like, this might be a good movie. And then I was a little confused when they flipped over to the FBI stuff, and I'm like, okay, what's going on now?
Is it a Liam
And I was
Neeson
actually,
movie?
and I was like a little intrigued. How is this going to tie together? And then the stupid started, and it didn't stop. And I'm so disappointed because it could have been good.
Yeah.
And apparently, it's actually based on another movie, which I'd
Oh.
like to see the original. I
It
can't
was.
remember. I
There
think
was
it's
an
a.
original.
Is it a French film?
It might be. I'm not sure.
It sounds like a French plot, so now I kind of want to
But
find
yeah,
out.
I kind of want to watch it because I have a feeling it's probably really good because
They probably did
the
it
base
right.
story is good.
But you
It
know,
just
you know what?
goes off in all sorts of crazy
I
tangents.
gotta hand it, I don't know, to somebody. I'm not sure who I'm gonna hand it to, but this was actually really was a much better Liam Neeson movie.
Oh,
like,
the thing is, it is so much better than any Liam Neeson movie I've watched in so long, yet it's still a rage.
yeah, no. I have to agree. Unfortunately, sorry, Mur. Your Neeson.
I'm just surprised you guys went to it.
Well, you know what? As Bryce said last week,
We're not Filmondo.
we're film rage.
It is a remake of a 2003 Belgian film,
Oh, I bet they probably speak French.
Memory of a Killer.
Yes.
Well, let's all jump in
Yeah.
bed with that film.
Yeah, let's
you go.
see we did.
All right. Well, you know, it's unfortunate. Well, maybe it's actually kind of fortunate that we didn't get a lot of movies in cinema last week
Well,
because
we
we were
didn't have time
busy.
anyway.
We
You
were
guys were a
busy
tad busy.
with Calgary Underground Film Fest,
Yes.
which you can find at calgaryundergroundfilm.org.
That's exactly where you can find them.
That's awesome. So this is, I guess, our second episode of our Calgary Underground Film Fest, or CUF is our, so
Sort of our wrap up. and
yeah, wrap up in our final
kind of
five.
second half top five.
Yeah. Do you want to take turns on it, or Mur, did you see anything this last go around?
I saw 4 films. I talked about 2 of them already.
Oh, okay.
Talk about the other two.
Well, were they ones that you liked though? So if you didn't like them, don't talk
I
about
didn't
them.
rage about them.
Okay, well then let's have it.
I liked them better than the other 2 that I watched.
Okay, well, what'd you see?
That's good.
What'd
you
you
already
see?
talked about the other two, so you might as well talk about these
I mean, I did watch the secret screening, which I was one of few who knew what the movie was.
Oh, secret.
So, 'cause it was a secret.
Because you
Emily
were
the
playing
Criminal.
it.
Emily the Criminal.
The Criminal.
With
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
And basically nobody else I know is in it. Yeah, it was good. It had some good moments. Wasn't crazy about the ending, the way it ended, but
I
yeah,
liked
no,
it.
she was good in it. Like, it was interesting character. I mean, she's basically an ex-con trying to make a go of it, and she gets pulled into this credit card scam thing, and then falls in love with the guy who's basically her boss. And
Yep. That never happens
then,
at work.
then dangerous shit starts to happen, and like, yeah,
Shit happens.
shit happens.
I have to admit, like, I love Aubrey Plaza. Like, I've always loved her. I love her
is a
quirkiness.
quirky
This
She-
was the
she
least quirky film she's ever
no,
made.
She took her acting to another level.
Well, she did that in Black Bear too.
That is not like
Yeah,
this.
she did because she
She did, but not like
She even
this.
directed, but this was not Aubrey Plaza that we know,
No.
and I thought she did an outstanding job. Now, Murray, what would you have rated Emily the Criminal, Matt?
Yeah, I was definitely a meh.
Yep.
It wasn't quite a mondo. I
Okay.
mean, like I said, I wasn't crazy about the ending.
Okay, I actually, it didn't make my top 5, but I
well,
also would
only
have
saw
given it
4
a meh.
movies, so
Yep.
because I was working for most of it.
You work hard for your money. You work hard for it,
And the
honey.
last one was, of course, our closing night film, which I actually was not working. Well, I was volunteering, but Marcel the Shell with shoes on,
Yes.
which is more intriguing than the actual movie.
Ah.
Yeah, it's based on these 3-4 minute shorts that they did a while back of this 1-inch, I don't know, seashell. I don't know what the hell he is.
Yeah.
Who
seashell.
talks and he has shoes.
Yeah.
And he bums around this house, which apparently nobody lives in. And he has all kinds of gadgets set up to like make his life easier and stuff.
As a shell.
But he's looking for his family.
It's good stuff.
And the guy is making a documentary on him who basically helps him with stuff.
And I love
One
it.
thing really bugged me.
Nothing but
How
me.
the hell does he turn the TV on?
What do you mean?
He jumps
the
on the
shoes
button.
on.
He's
There's a
1
power
inch.
button. He pushes the power button on the remote
Like
control.
when his adults.
He can shake a tree
When-
and get fruit from it. He can
Yeah,
do anything.
And again, he's 1 inch
He's a-
tall.
He's resourceful.
he can press. He just pressed the on button on his controller.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he's watching
Plus, maybe
Blu-ray.
For all we
He'd
know,
have
it might be voice activated.
he'd
we
have
don't
trouble.
know.
It's Siri.
Anyway,
he turns it on with
that-
Siri.
His capabilities kind of bug me
Siri,
a little
turn
bit.
on the TV.
Because he's still a 1 inch shell with basically no arms.
Yes.
So whatever. No,
He does a lot with his mouth, I think.
does a lot with everything.
It was-
very resourceful.
It was cute for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
for like
But-
an hour and 28
I
minutes.
don't know. I got a little tired of it, and then at the end, it was like, what the hell?
Exactly.
But yeah, the 60-minute segment was kind of interesting. I mean, in fact, they actually got Leslie Stahl and the whole crew to do
To get on board?
And I'm assuming most of the other
So good.
clips were probably from the old days when the YouTube videos first started popping up, like Conan O'Brien, all those
so
guys. But,
good.
but
Yeah.
so obviously it has some.
Conan
kind of-
O'Brien's a whore. He'll do anything
That's
for money.
true. So obviously it has some kind of funding and
That's
backing
why I
behind
like
it, and yeah, it hasn't come out yet. So
There you go.
That's your deal. Go see it.
It is going to get a widespread release.
It
though.
is.
Yeah, it is. I think it's coming out in the next week, actually.
We saw
So,
a trailer for it.
what would you give it, Mur?
Definitely a meh.
Yeah, I would almost mimic everything Murray said. It was a meh for me. I didn't love it. I found I liked it for about 20 minutes, and then the concept got tiresome for
I
me.
liked it for about 20 minutes, and then I liked it for the next 20, and then the next 20, I really, really liked it, and then
Oh,
the next
interesting.
20, I really, really, really liked it,
Aw.
and then I just liked it again at the end. But the sum of all its parts was
Was
me
just-
really, 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 really liking it.
And I
But
just
we'll
got tired
we'll
after
be
20
talking. We'll be
minutes.
talking about one more time later because
good.
I'm positive we're not going to be talking about it with your top 5. What say you, Jim?
You can 100% guarantee that. that I will not be talking about it on my top 5.
We will talk about it briefly with me.
Ah, that's so sweet. I'm so loving it. That you loved it so
I
much.
really did.
And mine are not in any particular order because
Mine are in order.
do you want to take turns on ones? Let's do
really.
that.
What?
Let's just do it. Let's take turns. So
not
I don't do
one.
all of mine. I'll do one, you do one, I'll do one, you do one.
Why are you throwing me curveballs?
Because that's my job. That's my job, to throw curveballs.
All right.
I wish I was a pitcher.
We're gonna end up talking about the same film back to back, probably at the end. Maybe.
Well, then we can both talk about it. If I say mine, then you say it.
yeah, okay.
And then you can say what
Anyways,
your
go
number
first.
is. Okay, so my first one I'm going to talk about,
But it's all
which
gonna be
is,
confusing because yours there's no particular order.
That's right.
And mine are in order.
well, this would be my top of the final. Do you want me to go not that one first?
I want you to save your favorite movie for last.
Okay, so the one that's not my favorite
Yes.
was the short package,
the
Hideous Haunts.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you?
I saw parts of it.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So I'm just going to quickly run down with a one sentence on each one
Oh my
and give it a
God.
quick review.
There's like 10 movies in it.
Yeah, there's lots. So
Okay,
I'm going to talk
go.
fast. Drip by drip. Never trust anyone who is way too calm while a dripping faucet is going on. It was a meh.
It was a meh.
Yeah, there we go. Night Bus. Animated bus ride to hell with sweet monkey revenge.
So
this
good.
short was monkey killing good. No, wait a minute.
It
It was motherfucking monkey killing Mondo good.
It was
monkey,
so Mondo.
monkey, monkey, Mondo. I loved this short more than probably any short I've ever seen in my life.
It was so
I
good.
fucking loved
I did watch it
Night
twice.
Bus.
I
Yes,
went back and watched
as did
it again. It's so good.
I really, really loved Night Bus.
Oh, that monkey, man.
It was so good. You guys just have to see Night Bus. It's that good.
It is.
All right. The other one was next was In the Mountains. Animated black and white sketch style animation, ultra violent, and a fun little alien troll adventure. It was meh.
Meh.
All right. Well, see, we're batting 1,000 on this one. The Dead Collectors. The future is not friendly and a little messy, especially the brain matter. Tough job, but someone has to do it. I actually really like this one. It was a Mondo for
It
me.
was meh.
All right. NQR. Subways are gross, and so are the people that ride them. It was meh.
It was meh.
All right. In the Shadows.
I don't know why I'm giving my ratings, but
Well, why not? It's good, and you're getting it out there. In the Shadows. Creepy as fuck. I normally don't get creeped out, but this was awesome. Creepy sounds, creepy people, creepy creatures, and everything in between was creepy. I loved it. It was Mondo.
yeah, it was meh.
No, it was probably the creepiest short I've ever seen. It was that creepy. The Last Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas, Santa. And yes, CLFs are exactly that. Creepy little fuckers. It was Mondo.
Meh.
All right. Smile. You're gross. It was Mondo.
Meh.
All right. While Mortals Sleep. Baby Toxie, Mummy and Daddy, and Susan. Toxie is a green eye with a vagina for a mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. With all that, you'd think it might be awesome. But no, it was meh.
Why it should have been, right?
Right. It was meh.
It was meh.
Now, this one, actually, I previewed this. Actually, I previewed a few of them. But this one in particular, called Teratoma. Sex is gross, so wear a condom all over everywhere. And I mean everywhere.
Yeah.
It summing up in 2 words. Ew and Mondo. This was the sexiest sexy grossness I've ever seen in my life. It was fabulous.
It was something to see.
It was heart-wrenchingly disgusting.
It was meh.
It was you're mental. You're mental. That's all I have to say. All right, so that's in my top 5 of the films I saw, which was a shorts package.
All right.
You're next.
You just wanted to talk more, so you had to throw in 10.
No,
extra
because
ones.
I wanted to make sure all the things I gave were mostly Mondo.
Are the next 5 going to be like 2 more of the shorts packages,
No.
so we can hear you talk for like a half an hour?
Yes. The other. No, I only picked the one shorts package.
All right.
I picked because I wanted all my top 5 to be Mondos.
Yes.
And so I didn't have another movie that made Mondo, so I had to just go to the shorts package.
Just to interrupt you for a second, unlike last week, all 5 of mine would be Mondo,
There you go.
which this film festival
No,
ended good.
last week you gave a Matt out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unlike
Oh,
last
so
week,
this week it is
this
going
week
to be
all Mondo.
There you
Last
go.
week my 5 and my 4 were both meh.
Gotcha. There you go. All right. Which number 5 then for you?
Oh yeah, I'm going, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
I forgot. We've got the new format that you just sprung on me.
Surprise.
All right, my number 5 movie from Cuff was A Night of Knowing Nothing. Such a poetic and haunting experience. This film is a love letter to film and creativity. It shines a light on the fact that there is much that we take for granted that others have to fight for. It was Mondo.
All right. I would have gave it a meh.
You'd be wrong.
Would be my opinion, and it was right.
It was incorrect. You need to watch it again.
No, I watched it twice because I previewed it.
So good.
All right, I'm going to give you another one.
Yes.
Lucifer.
Oh, really?
Visually brilliant and as fucked up as it comes, the Swiss Family Robinson family of the Alps have some messed up lifestyle choices, but I guess you live alone in the mountains too long and you never know what you're going to come about. With heavy religious overtones and a sound mix which included squawking eagles, organ tones, helicopters, and chainsaws, acting was brilliant. And I know it's not German, but Austria has its own version of an Austrian sex party, and I'm glad that I was invited to this mountaintop. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow until you find your dream. And my dream is seeing this movie again. They can exorcise the devil, but this devilishly fascinating film was Mondo.
I didn't see it. It was a victim of my schedule. I just
Victim of schedule
couldn't
stance.
get it in.
It is a movie that should not be missed, and I have a feeling you would have thought it was Mondo. So if it comes to cinemas, I will see it again.
All right. My number 4 is Emily the Criminal.
Oh,
Aubrey Plaza shines in this tightly written, tension-filled thriller that separates itself from the others in the genre. Writer-director John Patton Ford introduced us to a section of LA's crime underworld to great effectiveness. I thought Aubrey Plaza was a standout performance. I love the pace of this movie. The tension that was built, I thought was tremendous. I loved it.
Cool.
It's Mondo.
My biggest problem with this movie is I couldn't get past. I had a Bryceism during the movie, and then something happens in the movie, and I can't get my head around liking the rest of the movie because this one part that started I want to say a snowball rolling downhill of me getting irritated at the fact that the whole. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I loved kind of a lot of the things that you're saying. I just didn't find a lot of it believable, so I couldn't get past it. So that's why I didn't love it as much. But Aubrey Plaza, top thing I've ever seen her in, ever. Ever. All right, my turn. The Civil Dead. Did you get to see that one?
I did.
Awesome.
I saw parts of it. It didn't look very interesting to me.
I loved it.
Really?
Yep. These are the types of comedies that I like. Super dry and completely random events where you don't have a clue what's going to happen. So much going on, but nothing is really spoken or deeply explained. Random acts of ghosting, slacker con man, and what seems to be a buddy ghost I See Dead People film, which kind of ends in what may be predicted, but in a fitting end to the comedic horror, buddy ghastly, ghostly adventure to Slackerville. I'm still thinking about it days after seeing it, so it makes it a Mondo.
There you go.
Yeah, it was Sixth Sense with a stoner slacker, basically. And it was a comedy.
Not at all. My number 3.
Wait, what did you give that?
Well, I'll get to that. My number 3 is The Civil Dead.
I feel like I've heard this.
I'll make mine short because, Jim likes to ramble on and we've already talked about it. Number 3, The Civil Dead. It is a dark comedy that gets darker as it goes along. I laughed a lot in this story of a man who doesn't see dead people. He says he sees dead person.
Yes, he sees dead person. Well, we don't really know, actually, because that was a bit of the mystery.
We did. They did a little test there.
Can
you see him? Can you see him?
I know, but I was like, it was
so much fun. This movie.
I did enjoy it.
It was, yeah.
The ending was so perfect.
Oh, the ending
you knew
was
it was
awesome.
happening. You knew it was happening.
Yeah,
but
the ending was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So
loved it.
Okay. So far, I'm a little surprised. Okay.
By what?
I don't know. We're starting to like some movies the same. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. That's about to change with my number 2. I guarantee it. But what's yours? Well,
my number 2, Straighten Up and Fly Right.
All right, we got the same number 1.
Well, that wasn't going to be a surprise.
I believe that won the top prize too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, the ones from our top from last week, I think also won a prize.
Yep.
So, Straighten Up, Fly Right, true New York style film by actor, writer, director Kristen Abbate. This film is full of heart and angst and anger at the world by our lead, who lives a world hunched over and feels she is disabled. And because of this, it causes her all kinds of troubles. Although finding true friends that understand her brings her to a place of finding accepting herself and others. Great thought-provoking film. I loved it. It's Mondo.
I liked it a lot.
All right.
It was a high math, but she was tremendous.
Oh, she was.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't know, actually, it was funny because I was watching it with my brother-in-law, and he's like, "Is she actually really disabled?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but she's acting the shit out of this."
Yep.
And actually, it was funny because I watched it with 3 people, which. And everybody who watched it really loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's not surprising.
Yeah,
not
it's
surprising
good.
at all. It is good.
And it's a little low. It's very low budget feel to this film. So they made it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love this movie, and I don't normally like these kind of movies, but I really like that one.
My number 2 is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Jenny Slate voices Marcel, a seashell whose observations of life are poignant and charming. I was either laughing or smiling for the entire length of the film. This is a must-see, but only if you enjoy having fun.
I also enjoy having fun, but not that kind of fun.
I didn't realize that Bryce liked having fun.
This is the first time I've heard of it.
I loved Marcel the Shell.
Yeah, you know what? I love 20 minutes of it.
I can see how.
I also love 20 minutes of it, but I also like the next 20 minutes and the next 20 minutes and the next 20 minutes and the next 10.
See,
I can see how 8-year-olds will love this.
Yeah, so this is what I find kind of funny is because Bryce does spend a lot of time watching kids' cartoons on.
Does he?
Yes, online.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
What do I watch?
Well, I thought he doesn't watch TV.
You're kind of forced to,
I don't know.
whether he likes it or not.
It's quality time.
But
for
didn't
him.
you just tell me like the other month you watched the entire Bullwinkle series?
That's not a kid's cartoon. That's
Rocky
about the
and
most.
Bullwinkle?
That's one of the most mature.
Rocky and Bullwinkle
Yeah.
is mature.
Okay.
Yeah, have you watched it?
Yeah.
I've seen pieces of
I
it,
think
yeah.
you need to watch the
I
series
grew up
from
watching
the
it
start.
when I was 6. I absolutely loved it.
Those episodes from the 60s, and there are some that are so dark you won't even believe it. You'll go, are you kidding? Did they just say that? It's awesome.
All right.
If you were to that show could not be shown today and shown to like they would cancel. They'd
They'd
say
cancel
no.
it.
I'm sorry, kids can't watch this. It is totally an adult program.
Okay. We'll believe him, folks.
Okay.
It is so good.
We want to
Anyways,
get a combined list
Yet-
of all his animated
Yeah.
shows that are adult appropriate.
Adult appropriate.
absolutely.
And Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is one of them. So,
It is age appropriate.
yeah, I mean,
That's
any
good.
kid could watch that too.
Yeah.
In
By
fact,
all
I think
means,
someone brought
parents,
their kid to the
bring-
show and they were
there was
enjoying
tons of kids there.
it. Yeah.
Tons of kids there.
Kids at heart, like Bryce. All right.
What's your number one?
It's not a
What a
surprise.
shock this is going to be. Life
On
the
farm.
That's mine too.
Mine 3. Yeah, this amazing documentary about a quirky farmer and his life on a farm is funny, heartwarming, and fantastic. Ha ha ha. The doc is the best thing ever made by anyone ever. And now I don't want to do anything in my life but see this original film by Charles Carson where he educates us, informs us, entertains us, and lets us hang out with his dead mom and dad on the farm. That's Life on the Farm.
Yes.
And it's also a Mondo.
It is so Mondo. I want like there should be like a box set with like every
Oh, if they could
single-
find it.
Yeah, if they could find every movie he made, because he gave like different versions
Yeah,
to
customized
all the people
versions.
in the town. It's crazy.
Just imagine though that you had a
And
small
he's
town
doing
of
it with
like
a
400
VCR
people.
Doing it with a VCR and just cut
Yeah.
like what?
How much time did he spend
Oh,
on that?
man.
Like when he wasn't farming, he was in front of a VCR camera.
So yes, my number one of the festival is A Life on the Farm. Take a trip to Kumen Farm with your host Charles Carson. He has something to show you. This is the most enjoyable film of the festival. I watched it twice, and it was just as entertaining the second time. Charles Carson is a character who will invite you in and leave you wanting to know more about this English farmer. I loved this doc.
Yeah,
Super Mondo.
You know what is it? I have to see one of his movies now. Like I just have to.
Yeah.
And when we finally find it, because I think Brendan's going to help us out,
Nice.
we have to watch it together because it just won't feel the same
Yeah.
without you.
All right.
So it was a pretty successful cuff.
It was. There was lots of stuff that I am glad we saw.
In a lot that we saw in cinemas,
Yes.
which made it even better.
It did.
Always makes it better.
Always makes it better.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
You guys are too mellow to be raging this week.
Yeah, we should never.
Yeah,
we should never have done.
We were almost singing Kumbaya at the end of that.
Well, the holding hands wasn't quite enough. I think there should have been hugging.
Yeah, well, COVID's still
Sweet,
a thing.
sweet hugging. So, still Putin, but on top of Putin, we can spread a thin layer of why Liam Neeson has not officially dropped off the face of the earth. Because he did comment that he's retiring from action films.
Yes.
But he's only 70. He has lots of life left in him.
Yeah, we could be making dramas. Like he could be in
Exactly.
he could do dramas which he was originally cut out to do. I don't think he was cut out to be an action hero.
I don't know how it happened. I wish he wouldn't have been cast in that first stupid freaking Taken movie.
I
think that was the one.
I think that's the one that started the
Loved it.
ridiculousness. Yes.
Yeah, because
Loved it.
although you know what, I know you didn't love it, but I actually liked him in Rob Roy.
Yeah, but that's a period.
No,
it's
I know,
totally-
but
it's
that-
totally
but that was an
that's not
action
what's-
film.
That's not what started this whole ridiculousness. Taken started this ridiculousness.
I think he did more before that. I think there's more before
There's
that.
nothing before that that's stupid that those movies are.
As stupid?
No, the stupid.
The stupid? When did the first Taken come out? Does anybody remember?
I don't
2000?
know.
I don't know.
Seems like he's been making bad movies for 30 years.
Yeah,
so it's probably
it
like
does
30
kind
years
of.
ago.
It does kind of. Well, so Taken 3 was in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's probably around 2005. I would
Taken
guess.
2 was in 2012.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you remember he made The Gray? Yep. Mm-hmm. The A-Team. He was in the A-Team too.
A-Team.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know where. Taken. There we go. 2008.
Okay, now do you see any ridiculously stupid action movies
Before that, yeah, there's one called Seraphim Falls.
Okay, that's not.
But he was in Batman Begins, the video game. But he was also in Batman
also in
Begins.
Batman Begins.
Which was not. Once again,
It's
you're
true.
Not, you're not. What are you talking about? Stop talking. I
was
asked
in-
you a specific question.
he was Love
and you're giving
Actually.
me stupid answers.
I was just going through them to see.
Oh, for crying out loud!
You're
Just
right.
Answer my.
I think
Taken
you're right.
started it. I know I'm right.
You did the homework.
I didn't do any homework. I just remember that from Taken on, it's been ridiculous, dumb, frickin' action garbage.
Yep.
Which he got paid a lot of money for.
For some reason, you gauge how much someone gets paid for as to
No.
how good something is, and
What
that
I'm
they are
gauging
not related.
is an actor has to work, and if that's the only thing that they're casting him in, he'll do them.
Well, you should
Yeah, but
have- you
if
should
he
have
came
some
out of
pride.
he came out of Batman. He came out of Batman, and he was in the whole Star Wars thing.
That he was. Well, in the
So you
first
think he
one.
would have had some higher picks of value, right?
You would
I
think.
like him.
Yeah, I like him when he was acting good.
I have never met him, but I'm sure he's a very nice man.
He does seem
I'm
kind of
sure he
nice.
is.
But yeah, so anyway, back to my original rage.
Yeah,
Liam Neeson just retire now.
There you go.
but he won't.
Liam Neeson is my rage. There is a rumor that he will stop doing action movies, but I see no sign of this. He has titles that are upcoming, such as Retribution, In the Land of Saints and Sinners, The Revenger.
The Revenger sounds like an action film.
And do not forget that we have a Cold Pursuit sequel to look forward to.
Oh, kill me now.
Other than Murray, who's looking forward to any of these? Is there really an audience for this garbage? Anyway, here's hoping after the last round of upcoming action films that Liam Neeson indeed ceases to make any more. That's my rage.
So let me just count up the number, and you can tell by the titles that these are action films. As you mentioned, Cold Pursuit, the sequel project.
Yeah.
Narco Sub,
Narco Sub.
Suspension,
Yeah.
The Revenger, The Trainer.
Yeah.
So these are all in development, and the ones in production are Charlie Johnson in the Flames, In the Land of Saints and Sinners,
Yeah.
Marlowe, and Retribution. So that's 9 films. He says he's retiring after this set of films he's done. So he's going to do 9 more films, Bryce.
Yeah, and like we're gonna get like a barrage of just like the last year of Liam Neeson. Like every 2 months, they're gonna go boom, boom.
It's gonna
boom.
be
They're
a
gonna drop
competition.
every 2 months, and it's just insane.
It's a competition between Liam Neeson movies and MCU films. That's my prediction. It's like, which one will we get more frequently?
And will all of them make 10% of what one of the MCU movies make?
Will all of them added up together?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, as much
all
as
of them added up together won't make 10%.
as our friend Jared Leto's film. Maybe. Maybe not.
It'll be close.
We'll come back in 3 years to summate what happened with the dollars on those.
Yes.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Do you like cute dogs? Of course you do.
We have a cute dog, and we'll share pictures of her if you listen to our podcast.
We are Two Idiots and a Dog, and we talk about movies and other media.
And post pictures of our dog, Kaiju.
New episodes post weekly on podpage.com/TIAAD media.
You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at TIAAD Media and wherever fine podcasts are sold.
So give us a listen. You wouldn't want to disappoint Kaiju.
I love the name of their dog.
I believe that was last week's
That
promo.
promo
but
sounds familiar.
Nobody,
It does.
nobody
We
told me
don't-
otherwise.
Well, no,
So I pressed the button.
it's okay. Because you know what? Kaiju's a cool name for a dog.
There you go. Well,
You said there was no more Murman Minute, but
I
he's surprising
said
us
I
with
had
one.
nothing.
Oh, but now he's made a list
Now
of...
I feel the need to defend Liam Neeson, who I love, and I'm not ashamed.
Okay.
You go, girl.
Some of my favorites: Dark Man,
Love Dark
Love
Man.
Dark Man.
directed by Sam Raimi,
It's
great.
awesome.
and then we've got Taken 1, 2, and 3.
Which
Terrible.
Maybe not 3.
took my brain and scrambled
Although the
it.
third one had what's his name, Forrest Whitaker. So there you go.
They were
So
all
it should have
bad.
been fantastic.
Should have been.
I didn't mind it. Honest Thief, I actually liked.
Okay.
That was awful.
Yeah, no, he was a former thief, and basically he was going straight, and then he basically gets pulled into stuff.
Then he lost his memory? Oh,
No,
no.
he doesn't lose memory.
Did he have a particular set of skills though?
Did somebody
Yeah, he
get
was a
kidnapped?
thief.
Did somebody get kidnapped? Like,
It might have been his girlfriend. I don't
okay.
remember.
Well, there's always somebody
I'm
kidnapped.
pretty sure there was
in it.
crooked FBI in that one.
In fact, I can almost predict every single movie someone gets kidnapped.
Pretty much.
Because even in this one, that girl got kidnapped.
I can predict in every single movie that there's going to be a lot of dumb.
Okay. What else you got, Murray?
Batman Begins.
It was,
was great.
excellent.
He was
Yep.
awesome.
He was.
Yes, he was.
Good guy, spoiler alert / bad guy.
Yes.
And it was sad that he didn't make it through the rest of the series. Yeah, Schindler's List. How can you go wrong
Well,
with that? one?
yeah, you can't. But that was a lifetime
A
ago.
lifetime ago.
Gangs in New York.
Also-
A lifetime ago.
Murray, you got to talk. What are your favorites from the last 10 years?
Exactly. We're not saying
I
that.
loved them all. There was maybe one.
I don't know.
There was like one in the
You
last 3
didn't
years. I
love
did
them
not
all.
give a mondo. Like
You
one,
just-
one was a meh.
You gave them
You
all.
just gave this one a man.
Yeah, but a high meh. It was almost a mondo.
There you
But
go.
My point is, there are people in this world who love Liam Neeson,
Who like old people
and old
fighting.
Liam Neeson action movies, and I am one of them.
All right. Well,
so
he keeps.
there.
Maybe to Murray's point, he keeps making them, and people
People
are
keep
paying
going
him
to
to
them.
do them. So obviously, people are seeing them. Otherwise,
Yes.
people would just stop hiring him.
people can see crappy Adam Sandler comedies and Fast and the Furious movies. They
Yeah.
can go to Liam Neeson movies.
You know, okay. So here's a question. That's not for
that
Murray.
That doesn't mean any of them should be making.
I agree. Now,
Should be
but
made,
okay.
I
Here's
should say.
do you run a studio? No, you don't.
okay. Here's a question
So
though.
it's their choice.
Here's a question though. We know Murray, you can't answer this.
okay.
Okay.
I also
If you
don't,
had to
I
choose,
don't also don't run a cigarette company, but what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? They shouldn't be producing stuff either just because there's an audience for it.
well,
People buy
okay.
it.
So here's
There's
the
money in
question.
it.
That's a terrible, terrible way to look at the world.
Okay,
the way
but
the
that
world works.
But that's he's right, because if we really want to complain, we got to be more complaining about the MCU. I am so tired of seeing another movie come out in that franchise
You're
too.
preaching to the
Yet
choir.
people are still buying it. Like,
And we're going to be going to one
and
this
so
weekend.
people see Liam Neeson movies, obviously, and people see MCU movies. It's not the movies I would choose to make if I owned a studio, Murray. But there it is.
I also don't like seeing 3-hour movies with subtitles, but you guys love those.
That's
That's
true.
true.
I love them,
They are the best,
especially if they're awesome.
There you go.
which quite often they are.
They are not.
Actually, I really love the fact that Murray gave some really good examples of Liam Neeson movies. I forgot how much I did love him.
Yeah, there was a time.
It's cool.
That time is past.
Time is past.
Yeah, well, Al Pacino and Jack Nicholson aren't making that great of movies either.
You're right.
You're right.
Or Robert De Niro,
I agree.
Correct.
who makes pretty much only
Robert De
comedies
Niro
now.
makes garbage now.
Actually, so does Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken makes pretty
So
bad
don't
movies.
you be trashing Liam Neeson. He's
Well-
doing what all the other guys do.
But we're the only ones we're getting to see him lately.
We're not just trashing really.
Dude's
we
gotta make
trash
money.
all of them.
We'll trash everybody,
He's
Murray.
got to earn a living.
We'll trash.
If you-
Does he?
Go back and listen to the
He
last.
does.
the last few that we've reviewed of Robert De Niro or Christopher Walken. They were not glowing.
Or Al
about them.
Pacino.
Or Al Pacino especially.
Hey,
Take a flamethrower to this place.
take a flamethrower to his acting. Okay, so the lists. I have a question.
Yes.
So we're talking about True Romance because I promised
Still.
that I would go back and rewatch the scenes
Yeah.
with Christopher Walken.
Was it the character or was it the performance?
So I have a question,
All right.
and it's a serious question.
It's
Because it could,
so
it could,
understated,
it
so
could,
brilliant.
it could technically cause us to lose two people this week, because I personally, even though you're saying Dennis Hopper, I rewatched the scene,
I'm saying Chris Walken.
and yeah, I know,
You
but
just said
Dennis
I'm saying
Hopper
Dennis-
isn't.
I'm not saying Dennis Hopper.
No.
Dennis Hopper was brilliant.
No, I
I'm
know.
saying Christopher Walken.
I still think that Dennis Hopper
Yes.
was more brilliant than Christopher Walken in that scene.
I don't agree.
Okay. So that's the qualms that I have. Because in my opinion, but then because he's not mesmerizing, I still have to pick one of those two, you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So I'd pick Christopher Walken.
Okay. Well, that makes me sad. I like
Who's
your
the other one?
You wanted me to
Can we go back and just not do that? Because I don't want to lose Gary Oldman.
I'm
Is that what
sorry.
it was, Gary Oldman?
I'm sorry.
There you
Gary
go.
Oldman's gone.
That's stupid.
Well, okay, well,
It's your rules.
you could use my other rule, which I just threw out there, which is a possibility, which would mean we'd lose them both, because I actually thought someone who's not mesmerizing took out somebody who's mesmerizing, which technically means
which I absolutely disagree with. The performance. Don't get me wrong. Those were two titans going head to head in a scene.
Yeah, I know.
And they were both genius. But
see, if you would have just
Walken
added
takes
Dennis
it.
Hopper on last week when I said he was mesmerizing, then we wouldn't have lost anybody.
yeah, I wish I would have.
Because you would have
now.
picked Christopher Walken, you would have picked Christopher Walken,
And you
I
would
would
have
have picked
picked
Dennis
Dennis
Hopper,
Hopper,
and
and
Gary
then-
Oldman would be safe.
But instead, I convinced you to rewatch it based on those two scenes, and then you're like, yeah, it was.
Actually, generally, I like Gary Oldman better than Christopher Walken. Pretty much
There you
everything
go.
he does.
Well,
There you go.
so are you switching your vote?
I didn't see the
Because
movie.
that'll say, oh.
I didn't see the movie.
Okay, so we could get
find it.
Gary Oldman back on the list if Murray ever watches True Romance and thinks that Gary Oldman was more mesmerizing than Christopher Walken. There, we're putting it out there, Murray.
No, you gotta
In your
find it.
spare
You gotta
time.
find it for me on a streaming service that I
will. Well, I don't wish that movie on anybody because it's terrible. but
It is a very good movie. I
it is
liked it a lot.
probably one
I
of
did
the.
look. I couldn't
It
find
was
any,
good.
The
any
acting
service
is
that I
awful.
had.
Aside
the
from
acting
those,
is great.
no, Christian Slater's annoying.
I
like
love Christian Slater.
Christian Slater.
I love
is
Christian
good.
Slater, but not in this movie.
Pretty
Yeah,
much
he's good.
everything.
And I like what's her name? What's her name's
Very
sister?
well written movie.
No, it's really not well
It
written.
is good.
It's terrible.
I liked it.
It would be a rage for me.
It is a Mondo.
It's rage. So heavy rage.
Mondo.
All right. Well, did we have anybody else we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Al Pacino and see if we can get him on a doubted list?
I don't think we can.
You don't think so?
I'm
He's
pretty
done a lot
sure
of
we
good
can.
stuff.
He's made a lot of
Not
movies.
recently, but he's done a lot of good
Well, that's
stuff.
all about recently.
Yeah,
though,
it's got to be
Murray.
the
Yeah,
last
but-
8.
Yeah, but how many movies has he made in the last 20 years? 2?
Oh no, he's
Oh,
made
more
it.
than that.
Okay, here we
A
go.
lot more than that.
We're talking Al Pacino for doubted.
All right, let's give it to me. Let's do this
well-
quick.
Right away, we have to stop.
Yeah,
He was at House Gucci. So
there you go, Mondo.
Mondo, and it's done.
And he was Mondo in it.
And then he was also in The Irishman. So
Yeah, which I believe I gave Mondo.
Did you really?
I
Yeah.
did.
he did. But I gave it a rage. So
So yeah, so he's only 8 away from being doubted there, Jim.
There you go. It's 8 more
so
bad
Al Pacino
movies.
knows. Okay, what's the other one you listed
He's
off,
only
Murray?
7 away from being undoubted.
You listed
though.
Robert De Niro. Okay.
Oh, yeah, let's see that.
I don't remember seeing anything. That
No,
wasn't a
because
comedy
he was
last
in The
10 years.
Irishman. I gave it a Mondo.
Oh,
You don't even have to look.
damn.
I want him on the doubted
Can we put
list.
Joe Pesci up for is he not on our mesmerized list?
Let's move on.
All right. Well, you don't want another.
The mesmerized list is just bloated. We got to knock it down before we start adding more people. We start talking about movies and what about this so and so? Yeah, he should be on the mesmerized list when we're trying to knock people off of the mesmerized list. It's this vicious snowball. We start talking and then all of a sudden we've got all
Some
these
people are just mesmerizing, and then you kind of want to have a mesmerize off to see who's more mesmerizing. It's like a revolving cycle in the washing machine. Blah, 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 blah. Spew. Something squirts out. It's all squirty and stuff.
Squirty and stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well, I have another walking off.
Oh!
Oh, really?
Gimme more. Give me more. Just like Britney Spears.
Who versus
says.
who? In what?
The Prophecy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Christopher Walken and Viggo Mortensen.
Oh.
Prophecy. Wait a minute. Is that?
I don't know. All I know is they're both in it.
Is it what?
A movie about people?
It spawned like two sequels.
Is that the horror movie? though?
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh my God! I read the book. It's so good. I remember the movie when it came out too.
The movie was meh.
Yeah, I have a feeling it wasn't. Okay.
There we go.
We will be
Alright then.
trying to watch that baby.
I have nothing to say.
Yeah, you just not with it.
You didn't write me nothing.
Huh.
Apparently
Well.
last week Jim was supposed to watch, or they're supposed to watch Ballistic, Ecks versus Sever, and they had problems finding it.
Yeah, I had troubles finding it. That's why I didn't write anything. So,
But you
but
did
then I
end up
found it
watching
after I created the agenda. So,
So-
I was. Here's the thing. Last week, or it wasn't last week. 2 weeks ago on Rage or Dare,
Yes.
we were dared to see.
Ballistic Ecks versus Sever.
That's right. For the two of us
Antonio
Just the
Banderas
two of
and
us.
Lucy Liu.
versus
I
Lucy
love
Liu
Lucy
in
Liu.
a battle
I
of
love
love.
Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
Antonio Banderas.
All right, well, I guess we'll just jump into it. Ballistic Ecks versus Sever. First off, that is the dumbest name for a film ever. It doesn't even
That's their
accurately.
names.
It doesn't even accurately describe the movie.
No.
Secondly, this was terrible. And thirdly, what was this even about? I do not know why anyone is fighting. There's a bunch of subplots that don't make any sense and seem to add up to nothing. I was literally confused from scene one. The script was so bad with so many plot holes and so much bad dialogue, it leaves me asking, how did this get made? Lucy Liu is at her absolute worst, and Antonio Banderas seemed like he was asleep for much of this. And the fight sequences were clunky and awkward. This is a film that had nothing good in it. This was monumentally awful. This was a rage. There is one scene where there's a car driving down an alley, and instead of going to the right and going around the car in front of it, they just plow into it for no reason, and there's like a big explosion. It's like, why didn't you just pull the steering wheel to the right? You weren't like unconscious. You had plenty of time.
Do you know
Like,
the
it was
funniest-
just so dumb.
Do you know the funniest thing about it is I also watched this with a group of people.
Oh,
And they were that scene. We all said this.
like, what is going on?
We're like, what just happened there? It was like
this was such a rage.
oh my God. Well, wow. Lucy Liu's reveal is so dramatic, though, Murray. Picture it: dark alley, spooky smoke, and hooded figure on a long pan shot. Ta-da! Now the fun begins. Of course, after kung fu chops and other chopping stuff. It had so many long walking shots all the time. Just in case we don't know the scene is supposed to be dramatic. So what do? They make a low, slow panning shot and have the people walk in slow motion.
They tried to manufacture so many things.
But this
Nothing worked.
had one of the most masterful of all masterpieces. We get a flashback montage of a flashback to the prequel of the flashback montage with Antonio Banderas.
I didn't even know what was going on.
And I'm like, wow, I'm hooked. Who knew that was even possible? But they did it. Let me just repeat what I just said so everybody can understand. There was a flashback montage of a flashback to the prequel of the flashback montage. I'm just like, what? When it happened, I was just like, I had to rewind it 3 times to see what it was.
Just
I love how Lucy Liu is so good, but allows herself to be captured on film. And then I'm sure that was on purpose, right?
Sure.
And then they found her so easily, but that was also on purpose, right?
I don't know.
And all the slow motion, so much explosions, so much dumb, but at least we got more slow motion and slow motion action scenes, Murray. Like, it was like they took an action scene, and every time they were supposed to have action, they went slow motion so that you couldn't miss.
Action-packed action.
Again and again and again and again.
It was so awkwardly shot that the action was just, it was bad. It looked like people like going in slow motion and going like sort of play fighting, like they were, like it was the rehearsal for the action sequence. So they didn't really follow through with anything.
No.
It was like the rehearsal for the action
Or
sequence.
the part that I think was one of the pinnacle moments is when Antonio Banderas, or I like to call him Tony in this movie, Tony's chasing her around, and then she's about to escape, and then they have to fight each other. It was kind of like I can't remember who said
they have to fight each other.
It was like, oh, we have to fight each other,
point.
and I'm just like, what? She could just get away. Why are they fighting? It made no sense. But Murray, it was a very highly sexualized fight.
Oh God.
Well,
which she could have escaped from.
Believe it or not, I have seen this film.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it in the theaters.
Yeah,
And
so did I.
I.
So did I.
And then I got to see it
so
again.
she had no problem shooting everyone and everything, but just couldn't kill Tony. I'm like, what? And the motorcycle car chases were filmed in slow-mo too, and then they sped it up to walking speed. It was like the one time they're actually riding the motorcycle and it tipped over because they were going so slow. I'm just like, what? You could literally walk faster than the motorcycle was traveling.
I want to watch another Dennis Rodman movie.
Me too. Of all the terrible in this awfully awful action train wreck of a movie, there was one cool motion scene.
No, there wasn't.
When this one dude got shot off a building in slow motion, of course, and then they panned all the way down and showed him land on the ground in one continuous shot on top of a car. It was actually a pretty cool shot. That was cool.
Okay.
But then everything else was awful. But again, as Bryce had said, I was confused because Gann's kid is Tony's kid, and they never knew anything about everyone being alive, and no one knew anything. And Tony's wife hooks up with the villain, and everything is in a plan that took 10 years to transpire, so they could put a chip in this kid's body when he's 10 or when they're 10. Because up until that, they didn't have a way to apparently get chips across the border other than it was just like, what? And then the CIA couldn't find a better way?
You're just talking, it's all dumb.
It was gibberish. The movie was crazy.
I didn't find it hard to follow.
I was so confused. The film was so convoluted,
Yeah.
convenient, and nonsensical that even Tony's broody, pouty, satty face and Lucy Liu's high, slow motion kicks could not save this film. It was completely awful. It was a rage.
There you go.
But Marie, you loved it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it recently?
No, I saw it in the theaters.
Okay.
I do know it is on pretty much everybody's top 5 of worst movies ever. Like, look up online anywhere. Anybody who ever made a list, it's like in their top 5 of worst movies ever. So,
Whoever made that list knew what they were doing.
So yeah, pretty much everybody agrees it's bad.
Well, Bryce, I have bad news for you because if you're looking for a Dennis Rodman movie, it's your turn to pick.
All right.
And you're going to pick from the Dare bag or my bag. You get a choice. Rage or Dare.
I'm going to go Dare bag.
All right. You're hoping for another Dennis Rodman movie.
I don't know.
How many movies has he made?
I think we might have seen them all because we've seen like
I think there's
3,
just 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it was only 2 that we've watched.
We've only watched 2, yeah. You're going to be watching.
No!
Yes, you will be watching it.
That was a yes.
That sounds like a yes to
Because
me.
it's a dare.
Fast and the Furious 2.
Oh, nice.
Not just the original, but the second one.
Oh, baby.
I'm sure you won't have problems finding that.
I have a feeling. Okay, now, do we have to check a rule here? This is the first Fast and the Furious he's watching on the show.
Yeah.
So are we allowed to make him watch all 10?
No. But it's the first one that's been dared by any of us.
Yes, it's true. Okay, so let's get a clarification for moving forward here.
Okay, if you get a Fast and the Furious movie,
Yes.
you don't have to watch another one.
Okay.
But you haven't gotten one yet.
No. Other than the last one we saw in the theater.
I've seen them all.
And you're going to see at least one of them twice.
You're getting the worst one, though.
At
second
any
one the
rate,
worst one?
whatever. I don't even know. They're all freaking awful.
Well, I think the third one didn't even have them in it. It was in Tokyo or something, wasn't
No,
it?
that's Tokyo Drift. That's the third one.
Oh, yes, I mean, third one. Didn't even have...
The third one's
Vin
actually
Diesel-
pretty good.
I
You
would
can,
imagine
Diesel in
it's
it.
better than the other one.
you can
I
dare
actually-
me to see the third one.
I've actually never seen the third one. For some reason, I've just
Passed by it.
seen
You
that
saw.
one.
You went right from 2 to 4.
I
Then,
did.
then around 5 or 6, they started
I'm
bringing
not even
wrestlers
sure why I
into it.
saw 4. Like, what is wrong with me?
Why did we see all of them? We've literally seen them all
I haven't.
individually.
Oh,
The
well.
only one I sat through was the last one.
All right. Fast
And how'd
the
you feel
Furious
about
2.
that?
Eh.
It was mad. Where's it from?
Had its moments.
Yeah, it's
Except for the car in space.
Car and
Fast
and
space
over that.
with duct tape.
You know you've jumped the shark.
Sounds like a Bowie song in the making. Car in space with duct tape.
All right. So
Car
I
in
guess
space.
That's
that's that.
Oh, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, Extended Film Rage crew and family, who you can find in our show notes. Find us everywhere at Film Rage YYC on social media. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, or send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.